First review of November, and it's going to be a really short one. I was one of the 5 people on Earth who hadn't played Portal before, so there isn't a lot I can add that wasn't already said by critics and reviewers. I guess that's gonna be it then. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it and share your own thoughts about Portal in the comments.
Super button.
Okay, I guess I can still talk about how I felt about the experience. Portal is a first-person puzzle adventure game with mechanics that back in 2007 were considered very innovative. You're awakening your tiny chamber until you're supposed to complete a series of tasks. If you do well, you'll get some delicious cakes, so better get to it. Every task takes place in a clean, controlled environment where you must find your way to the exit, usually involving activating switches to open doors or leading balls of energy into their appropriate slots. I say controlled, but many of the tasks involve interacting with things that can kill you. The game autosaves by default, which works well for this type of gameplay, as depending on how quick you find the solutions, you might rely a lot on trial and error. How you interact with anything is very intuitive, and even for the most challenging tasks, I highly recommend you don't use any guides. In fact, for games like Portal, it's better to always avoid guides if you really want to develop your problem-solving skills, which is a very important asset to have in your professional and unprofessional life.
Very good. A complimentary victory lift has been activated in the main chamber.
The first 2 tasks are really simple and bare bones, but once you're given the tool to open portals on compatible surfaces, the puzzles become a lot more interesting. The way this works is easily understood. What goes into a blue portal, including you, comes out through a red portal and vice versa. Only specific kinds of surfaces allow you to open portals, including the walls, ceilings, floors, and anything else covering that same material. Unfortunately, the warp portal mechanic was already used in other games since, so I wasn't blown away by it compared to 99% of you who probably played this closer to the original release. But this game does put it to more clever use, like as a way to eliminate sentry robots or jumping down into a portal to build forward momentum through the second portal. I'm a very slow learner myself, so I ended up fumbling around for a long time some of the later tasks, but I'm proud to say I didn't look up anything online or ask for help. Maybe I won't get a cake, but I'm a good smart boy and I deserve a treat now.
Unbelievable. You.
Subject name here.
Must be the pride of.
Subject hometown here.
The way each room is designed, every following task builds upon what you've been doing to find the previous solution, so the game does an excellent job teaching you without spelling anything out. This is the kind of gameplay literally anyone can enjoy and feel like they accomplished something. And even if the portal mechanic is no longer novel, the level design has aged really well. So I can already tell you I highly recommend playing this if you haven't already. I don't know if Portal 2 is better in every way, but the first is a worthwhile experience and it will only take you 2 or 3 hours to complete, if you only want to see the ending credits. The story and full context of the narrative were spoiled to hell and back online, but if you somehow avoided learning anything about it all this time and want to keep it that way, you can stop watching now. The story is really short, so it's hard to talk about it without spoiling. I already knew about what the twists and reviews were long ago. It's impossible not to be exposed to them if you engage with any gaming community or watch YouTube. Heck, even random games that have nothing to do with Portal Valve spoil them. So I expected to play from start to finish without feeling anything for the story. Boy, was I wrong. Knowing about it and seeing how it all builds up are very different things, and that's thanks to how the developers at Valve were able to connect the level design with the story direction so well. In the beginning, it feels like a really standard puzzle game where the story will be an afterthought, and you think the AI, GLaDOS, is only there to give any vague instructions or add a bit of quirkiness to the experience. But the closer you get to the final series of tasks, the more suspicious and crazy GLaDOS provocations become and more dangerous the tasks get. Even the music starts to change, and if you try exploring some of the exposed backrooms, you get some really ominous foreshadowing in form of scribbling and objects left by the previous task subjects. Before you know it, that controlled puzzle game becomes much more than just know whatever your final reward is, you're not going to like it. Some of you talk like From Software invented environmental storytelling, but that has been a thing in video games for a long time. There definitely is some of it here. While GLaDOS is constantly speaking to you, the only text you see are the subtitles you can enable for GLaDOS lines, so at least half of the complete story is given to you through the environment and escalation of the tasks. What makes GLaDOS so interesting as a character isn't only how much personality they give it, but the way your impression and trust towards it naturally changes due to how the things you experience and see conflict with what you keep hearing.
vital testing apparatus destroyed.
By the end, you have every reason to hate GLaDOS, but there's still something strangely endearing about its mischievousness. The character is considered very iconic and popular, and I can definitely see why now, but they probably took inspiration in Showdown from the original System Shock.
You should have turned left before. It's funny, actually, when you think about it. Someday we'll remember this and laugh, and laugh, and laugh. Oh boy. Well, you may as well come on back.
This game supposedly takes place in the same universe as the Half-Life series, but I never played those games, so I don't have anything to say about that. I'll get to the Half-Life games in Portal 2 in the future. Okay, now we're done. Those are my thoughts about Portal. I'm sure almost anyone watching has already played, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, you can support Game Over Hell by subscribing and telling other people about this teeny tiny YouTube channel. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.
Did you know you can donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science Self-Esteem Fund for Girls? It's true.